So you guys recall that I recently got this new Hoyt Ventum 33, and today we're at Texas Archery. This is one of their many ranges that they have indoor. And as you also recall, I did get the Axcel Landslyde sight that's brand new for 2021, a very highly wanted sight, which Texas Archery does have in stock. But honestly, I don't know much about this Landslyde sight other than it looks pretty cool. So I'm here with my boy Raymond. He's going to actually help me sight it in today and go step by step on what to do. And if you guys are interested on this Axcel Landslyde, they do have it in stock. And if you need it installed and sighted in, Texas Archery will take care of all that for you too. But anyways, let me show you guys the process. All right, here we go. We're going to sight it in first. 20 yards. What do you think, Raymond?
Yep.
20 yards is where we should start it at first?
Yep, we're going to start at 20 and then leave this range and go over to the 50-yard range.
Okay. So what do you need me to do?
So just, man, make the best shot you possibly can. I'll do all the movements on your sight.
Okay.
All that you got to do is be the Indian and shoot the bow. Hardest thing to do for us, or it's not really hard, it's just before you start this process, everything has to be leveled. So we've already done that with yours, but we've done the first, second, and third axis leveling on the sight.
Okay.
So now it's just time to shoot it.
All right, here we go.
Not bad.
Is that bullseye?
It is just right at the bullseye.
Just right at the
Barely.
bullseye.
Elevation is perfect though.
Okay, so elevation is good. All right, let's send one more. Well, how many do you recommend? How many arrows do you recommend?
And it just depends. So, I mean, you really want to trust these two distances because if you get in a rush and you don't take your time, your tape's going to be off. And like I said earlier, you're just going to have to redo it. So you might as well really take your time, make sure your 20 is good, and then whatever your secondary distance is, make sure that one's perfect as well.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So we're going to take our time, make sure we hit that 20 perfectly.
Elevation's not bad on that one either. A little higher than the first shot, but not by a lot.
That's probably on me though.
And we'll shoot 3 or 4 arrows, and we'll go and pull. And that way you don't wear yourself out too fast because, like I said, we're going to have to send some arrows. 20 is the easy one. Obviously, when you get further, it gets a little tougher. All right, guys, so Nick just got done shooting. We didn't really have to move it much on elevation. I did end up putting a couple clicks because he was in a touch left, enter to the left. So on this side, all that you do is you push that pin in. From there, I'm gonna click it counterclockwise, and that's gonna push it to the left. When I feel happy with it, I'm just gonna lock it back, and the sight will not move, it will not click, it will stay locked in place.
So if I wanted to go to the right, I would go clockwise?
Yes, yeah. So on this sight, you'd actually click it clockwise, and that will bring it back to the right. Every sight may or may not be that same way. This particular sight is counterclockwise to go left and clockwise to go right.
And they call this windage adjustment?
Yes,
Is that correct?
Yep. And it's all micro toolless. You won't see me really having any Allen wrenches in my hand when I'm sighting somebody in after I've got it all leveled. I can do elevation changes without tools and windage changes without tools.
All right, Raymond, so I feel good with my shots, 20 yards. I'm grouping pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's great. I'm
Pretty
super
good, right?
happy with that.
Okay.
So we've got the left and right figured out. We've got the elevation figured out. Now all I'm going to do is take a little fine tip Sharpie, and I'm going to make a little tick mark even with that indicator to mark 20 yards. And then we're going to do the same thing at a further distances, and then we'll measure that gap.
So you're marking it right on the top of the red, the very top
Yep.
red part of the, I don't even know what you call it.
It's an indicator, this guy
Indicators,
right
gotcha,
here.
okay.
Yep.
All right, so that's 20. So the bottom's going to be 50 then, right? I'm assuming?
Well, we won't even use this one yet. I'll show you what that one does here in a little while, but we'll roll the sight down, and you'll end up having a mark somewhere around here that's going to be for your 50 yards, and then we can measure that gap and figure out what tape you need.
So do you want me to aim the bullseye right at the 50?
Yep, so bullseye. So I've already adjusted the sight down to where I think it may hit.
Okay.
And so just hold right in the bullseye. You are almost in the bullseye, that far left. So
Really?
about an inch or two to the left, and about an inch lower. You're right at the bottom, left-hand side.
Shows. I know it.
Just a little left as well, but just a touch high. Nick just got done shooting 20 and 50. We've got our mark for both distances. I am going to take this calibration tool right here, and we're going to open it up and measure the 2 points. And from there, I'll be able to, let me unlock this thing, spread it apart and hold it up to each tape until we find the exact match for the tape we want, and ultimately that's where we'll end up.
And every landslide have to go through this process, is that correct?
Yeah, so on a single pin, you don't always necessarily have to do the distances that we did, which we used 20 and 50.
We have a single pin. That's
Yep.
that's-
So this is the single pin model. It's not the AccuStat scope where there's multiple pins, the 3s, the 4s, or the 5s. So all that we did was shoot at 20 and 50. You can pick really whatever distances you'd like. Some guys will do 20 and 60, some will do 20 and 80. It's ultimately up to the shooter at that point to know their limits and what they can and cannot do at that distance. But basically, I'm just trying to measure these 2 points exactly as centered as possible. I'm going to come in a little bit more. So I got 20 and 50. So that's ultimately where we ended up. We're at 0.478. I'm going to lock it down so it doesn't move. And then from here, I've got all my tapes laid out. This is the ones that are supplied from Axcel. If you flip them over, they're double-sided. In fact, what I'm going to do is make this easier. Instead of flipping them all over, those same tapes are all right here. And I'm going to figure out which one it is on here first, and then we can decide if we have it in a metal sight tape. So,
did you grab the glue or did you get the wax?
all right, so what I'm seeing right now, tape 23 is matching perfectly.
23.
Tape 23.
Okay.
So with your poundage, your draw length, your draw weight, your arrow weight, so many things go into picking this. But for your setup, it is tape 23. So we have to determine if this is on a metal one, and we just missed. Nope, right there. We got it. So we have the metal sight tape. All that we have to do is unscrew this one and put that guy on there, and you're sighted in, technically, if we did everything right, all the way out to 100 yards, which is awesome.
Sweet.
So that's all it is, just 2 Phillips head screws. And from there, I can get rid of the tape. And this is actually a tape too. They just put a sticker over the top, but if you flip it over, it's got a tape on both sides. This is tape 7 and 18 that was already supplied on the site. And so what I did is the sight is locked down, so it's not really going to move on us right now. I left the sight on 50 yards, so right there it was dead on 50. So I'm in the 3rd hole down. So when I put in the new tape, I'm going to be in the 3rd hole down, and I can fine tune this indicator to 50 yards, and then we never move the sight, so everything's going to be perfect. It doesn't line up. Like my indicator's on just shy of 55. So what I'll do is I'll take this and move it to the next hole up until I get the indicator pointed right at 50.
Okay.
And everything else will fall into place. All right, so it's locked down. If you take your time, you can get it perfect. So we're still a little low, so I'm just going to come up a little bit more.
So what is this thing right here? What does this measure?
So when you break this thing out of the package, a lot of people are confused what this second indicator is for. What a lot of guys are doing is using the top of their bubble is a backup, like it's just another reference. So they're aiming with the top of the bubble like they would on another pin, and they put the indicator here, the second indicator, at whatever that yardage may be. So they may have a 20 and a 45 at all times without moving the sight.
Oh, gotcha.
So it would essentially be for maybe like a quick backup shot. If you shot a pig at 20 yards and they ran out to 45, well, you know the top of your bubble's at 45. You wouldn't have to move anything. You just immediately go to that aiming point and take your second follow-up shot. For what Nick is going to be doing, we decided that we're just going to take it off altogether. He's not really going to have the need for a quick follow-up shot. So to save him some confusion on 2 indicators, we just pulled off the bottom one and we just left the top one on there, and it makes it much less confusing for him, you know, in the heat of the moment.
I really hope this video helps you guys, especially if you're interested in the Axcel Landslyde, which Texas Archery does carry it. Visit Raymond or any of the other bow techs that work at this Texas Archery store. Once again, if you purchase the Landslyde from Texas Archery or any other site for that matter, whatever they have in stock, they will install it and they will help you sight it in absolutely free,
Free of
as
charge,
long
as
as you
long as it's
purchase
bought
it.
from
Yep,
us.
Texas Archery. That's good service in my opinion, guys. Anyways, Let me know what you guys think. You like the Landslide? Is there another competitor that you like? Leave it down in the comment below. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching the video. I love every single one of you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.